our next speaker, Simon, will talk a little bit about the China market. So Simon, please.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone. So this is my first time in Poland, so it's really a long trip from China to here. Yes, actually last year I invited someone from 11B Studio to join my conference last year in China, and the developers there so enjoyed the talk very much. So I think more people will be coming after the lunch, so I would start with some questions first. So among yours, whose games had been published in China already? Anyone? So what a platform? Who's on Steam? On mobile end? Okay, you got partners there, the publishers, or? Okay, so can I ask you, so what publisher? It's located in which city? East West. Okay, I got the company. Okay, so I think the reason why I'm here is talking about the recent China because, like me, I've been starting to go to a game developer conference in San Francisco ever since 2008. So after years, I think that more, the first year I went to GDC, there were seldom Chinese people there, especially for the game industry in US. So I think after years, there are more people talking about the China market because it's getting more bigger and so more important in the world. I got first start some brief introduction of myself. I'm the China Indie Game Alliance founder, and so I also run the HDA Beijing in China. I spent more than 11 years in the game industry, and the early years I've spent more than 7 years in China Joy, the biggest game expo in China. So oversee all the expo conference and the overseas business. So and also then I joined like Steel Media as the Asia business head to doing a lot of network there. And then about my China Indie Game Alliance, so I founded in 2015, so it's 2 years ago. But now it grows very fast. It's now the largest and influential independent game developers network in China. And we had established a strong network covering like publishing, financing, and communications, everything in China. So if anyone interested with the China business, so we could be a good partner. So I think maybe it's a little strange to talking about like an indie game alliance to be a partner in China, but I will explain why afterwards. So. Okay, so here's my main structure today. So it's 4 parts here. First, I think we will talk about the China market today. So as mentioned before, like from 2008, so I think seldom companies in Western countries will be aware of the gaming companies in China. But like I think from 2009, 2010, after Tencent first acquired Riot Games, so somebody found that, okay, there are very huge companies in China. And also, there are more publishers going to the Western country to find games published to China. So, but from my personal feeling, there's still very big gap between the Western countries and China, especially on the informations. I'm not sure so how you get the latest information from China, what kind of media you're reading. So because I used to like PocketGamer.biz, they do have Asia sites there to report some news there. But from my view, that was not enough because you cannot get the latest information from the local medias. But there, that will require some, the Chinese language abilities. So, okay, China is big important. That's my main point. So we could first to take a view about the report from last year from the New Zoo. You could see the global gaming industry revenue, and so I think I'm not good at numbers, so I can't count very clear about the so many zeros there. So we could see it's almost like 100 billion. For last year, of which we could see the Asia Pacific take almost 50% of the total revenue. And in the Asia Pacific revenues, you could see that China has taken about like 50% from the Asia Pacific revenue. So it grows so fast and it grows so big these days. Okay, the next page will be finding very, I think it's interesting information. First of all, China has beaten the #1 in the ranking, the revenue ranking. But we could see interesting numbers that compared to the second one, USA, we could see from the total population, China is more, has 1 billion more there. And also the online population there, we could see the percentage, USA is much higher than China. And also from the total revenue from China and compared to the US or Japan, you could see that I think there's still space and potential for the average user values in the future. because there's still big space there. I think it's just beginning. Okay, so how many gamers there in China? It's quite a lot. We could see the report there from last year. It's the China Annual Gaming Industry Report by the GAPP, is the government. The China General Administration of Press and Publication. If anyone want to enter China, this is an important government department you need to work with. So they will release the China Annual Game Industry Report every year. We could see that from 2008 to up to now. We could see the growth of the total gaming users there. But the growth rate is decreasing for these years. But now it's already reached more than like 500 million there. Okay. Then we talk about, so what games are they playing there? I think somebody may know that there's be a huge gap that in China in the history is about the console games. So like me, when I was a child, I used to play like a family computer, which I thought it was a family computer. But actually, when I grew up, I know it's not a family computer from Nintendo, but it's some local family computer things. Yeah, so and then like the Mega Drive and the Super Family Computer and the PlayStation, actually they are now all not legal in China for many years. I think it's more than 20 years. So the players there first is reaching the games from the online games. Like me, I first play game is the MUD games. Then you jumped into UO. And also, there are some games from Taiwan of the online MMOs. So I think most players in China first reach game from the online games, which directly related to these charts here. So most gamers in China they play as online games and the mobile games now as the most played games. And we could see that there are very little percentage of the console games and the PC single player games there. But the number is increasing actually from 2015. Okay, so I think if anyone already reached some of the Chinese gaming market, you can see that it's complicated. So we're gonna talk this how it's complicated. I will explain more to you to get a better understanding of the market. First of all, I will take like the Android mobile market for example. I think that compared to the Western countries, there's a Google Play here, but in China, actually, there I think the most is 300 or 400 Android market there, and each market has different rules and SDKs. You're gonna work with them, and it's very complicated there. And no Google Play there. You have to work with them. And also, like the local medias, I think there's no Facebook, no Twitter, no Pinterest, no YouTube, all banned there. So yes, it's kind of like another planet there. So and also you cannot find a Twitch there. So I think most developers will not be able to know. So which media should they talk to, and also how could they use like the social medias to do something or to communicate with medias or the players there, and also streaming things. I know that Twitch also plays a very important role in the Western countries to do some to work with some influencers. So I'm afraid that the QIP is not in China. So, but we do have a lot of influencers locally. Actually, it's crazy. They have like millions of fans there. But you could look at this picture. Frankly speaking, even me, I'm not clear on how many streaming platforms in China. That's crazy. So each platform has their unique like content there. Some platform just like playing games. They all have some growth show there, but they all has a very big number of users there. And then it's coming to the local policy. The policy is important because every game you want to eagerly publish into China locally, you have to get a license from the government first. So there were two important government departments. The first is the GAPP. So you need to get a license before you're online. But after you're online, you will get monitored by another department. It's called the Ministry of Culture. So this department will mainly decide your destiny in China. And to get a license, it always take a long time, like maybe 2 or 3 months. But if you have any local partners, they may have to find some way to work it out. And also, there's no rating system and all the classification system, so things get a little complicated there. I think most Western developers can never get clear so how it works there. Okay, so I want to share here is the latest changing, and there's another reason why I'm founded the China Indie Game Alliance there. Okay, we could see here. Here's a chart for the Steam users growth in China. This never happened before, but it happens now. This from the dev days from 2014 up to the end of last year. We could see the growth of the top growth is in Asia, but among Asia countries, China is definitely the number one. And we could see from the Steam Spy, we could see all the days here. So China has become the third largest country on Steam in last year. Now I think the user already reached 90 millions, and average users purchased 13 games on Steam. There are another days here, so it's a little small. And I think somebody already learned some other facts that like some very famous games like GTA 5 has sold more than 550,000 copies on Steam China. And also there's some games locally like Lost Castle already sold like more than 300,000 copies on Steam China. So by Lost Castle, I think it's interesting because the developer is my friend. They started to make this game from university before they graduated in 2015. Then they graduated in 2016, and they have the games online, so they made very good sales there. But mostly, I think 70% is in China, but not worldwide. And also, we could see that another example is H1Z1. We talked with the guys from Daybreak. They will put more strategy in Asia this year because they could see a very big rise from their games that China is now the number 2 with almost 19% of its sales and almost 36% active players on Steam for H1Z1. And also we could see the Don't Starve. Don't Starve together has sold more than 600,000 copies from Steam China. And also, Tencent has also launched their local Steam platform. It's called WeGame. They first make an example on the Don't Starve for, I think for the first week, maybe just to boost like more than 1 million downloads there. But they use some strategies there. It's kind of a bundle because everybody knows Tencent runs League of Legends in China. So they made some bundles with League of Legends. And whenever you purchase game for Don't Starve, you get a skin from the League of Legends. So it's kind of strategy, but the problem is that maybe that's not the right user. So they could find the fact that even there's a lot of downloads, but seldom people will open the game. That's a problem. Okay, then we could see, still talking to the fast growing market for the PC games. So we could see it every day, it grows very fast, and we could see some more developers starting to invest into this market. So Steam users in China had increased from 5 million to 90 million between 2015 and 2017. It's just in 2 years. And the average owned games per user has increased from 6 to 13 in 2 years. So the total owned games have increased 6-fold. Yeah, here's another data here. So it's from April last year to April 2015. We could see the total users here and average gamers per user, and we get a calculation. I think that in 1 year, users in China download around like more than 100 million copies of games from Steam. It's a very huge number. Yeah, and also there's some other changes I want to share here. It's primarily on the indie games growing very fast. Like on mobile end, I think last year, for example, closely with Poland is that this fall of mine from 11 Studio, they made the sales premium version on the TapTap. It's a new rising mobile Android market in China. I think the sales finally made maybe more than 50,000 copies. And also, we could see the capitals in China is very active to developers who ever like develop like PC games, console games, and also mobile things. So they would like to invest in the future things, and also new distribution platforms. That's very important. Like I just mentioned, there used to be like more than 300 or 400 Android markets in the past, but like from last year, the traditional Android markets, their users numbers has decreased very badly. So some new platform is raising, like the tap one is a very special one. It started just from the beginning of last year. It's now I have to say it's now the best Android market in China now. You could sell some premier games there and gather all the best players there. And also another one is Tencent. Tencent had launched their local Steam platform. It's first called TGP, but they changed the name in April during their official launch, and they already signed a lot of games from Western countries, like Stardew Valley and other big titles. That's so far as I know. And also, like just today in China, 23rd, there's another one platform just launching. It's called Cube Games. They also sign a lot of games from Western countries. They want to do another Steam platform in China. And as I know, so I think there are more, maybe one or two more platforms in China. So I think that's how China usually works. If the platform is raising in China, there would be one or two or three, some similar ones appears at the same time. And also, the medias and the communities, I could see it's changing because, like in the past, most of the media just report with like commercial games and also all the online games or the mobile games. But now more medias is looking for different content, and they want to find some more interesting games, so they will focus on the indie things. And also, there's another change is user based. When I look into the new generations, I mean the generation is it's birth after 1919 or 1995. They are more like they are looking for more better contents, better games, not like before. Because most of users in China, they were seldom to play some games. So if they download the Android market or some other distribution channels, whenever the channels push them to play, they will choose to play. But now things is changing here. The players want to explore games themselves. Okay, so what to expect from the China market now? Okay, first is the temporary sales expectations. So as I just mentioned, okay, the market's changing, and also, sorry. The market is changing, and also we could see a big boost of the Steam users, but still, this kind of users is a small group in China, but it grows very fast. We see the hardcore games and the casual to mid-core hard games, and the new gamers. The new gamers still plays a very big part and important role in China. That's why so many people still playing the mobile games in China. Okay, so I think for the Western developers to expand in China market, first is directly sales. For now, I have to say, actually, Steam faces a problem in China because actually it is not legal in China to sell game on Steam now. But the government hasn't taken it down now. But there's a big risk this year. I know a lot of companies may complain about that, especially the new raising platform in China. So the direct sales, like you have Steam, you could still sell your games on Steam, but you could also choose to work with the local platforms, and the local platform or the local publishers will help you to get a license from the local government, make your game legal, and make your publishing is legal in China. And yes, the first one, you need to be aware of the government policy first, and then there's branding boost. When I look back, we could see a lot of big titles, even they had not officially entered in China. They already have a lot of very big fan base there. Like the console games, we could see like the Witcher from Poland, and also the Dark Souls from Japan, and also we could see other games like H1Z1. Actually, they haven't got into China officially or legally, but they do have big fan base there. That's a thing that you could, it's internet period. You could just connect the players and the media just through the internet. You just need to find the right community and the media to talk about. But you could boost your fan base there in advance. Then it's a promotion thing. So we do have some local events, like it's just like the China Indie Game Alliance doing. I show the logo here. It's WePlay. That's our gaming expo. It's more like a PAX style gaming expo in China, focus on the game contents and the gameplays. And also you could see other medias and the influencers. You can see the corner is a famous influencer in China. The girl plays like Silent Hill and a lot of console games, and it attracts a lot of attention from the internet. Okay, so there are also like local partners and investors you could talk about. Because as far as I know, so I could learn about the information from the local like investors. They're looking for some good games or good teams from overseas they want to invest or acquire. We could see the news that Tencent acquire a lot of companies and invest to a lot of companies like Supercell, Pocket Games. And also the there are local developers and the contents. So that's mainly what my alliance do. In 2 years, we have attracted a lot of developers. We could see a very big rise on the developer group who are doing like indie games or the console ones or the PC ones. Actually, some of them are really good. Like the middle one, because the Code Hardcore. Somebody may know him from the Kickstarter. This game actually won all the prizes in Tokyo Game Show last year. And actually, they're looking for some overseas opportunities. But frankly speaking, it's just like Western developer looking to China markets. They are also strange to all the medias, influencers, and the social medias outside of China. So they will need help, and they want to find very good partners to do that. And from my opinion, I think there are more things to happen in the future. Is that the international, like the developing cooperation. Because some of my friends in China, they already looking for, they already find some like very good writers or composers to join their team or join the project from Japan or from US. So I think that will be happen more in the future. So the third way is the third part is the right way to enter China. I think the first one is to communicate with the right people to get a clear picture on that. So here I list some communities here. The Steam CN, this is not official Steam in China, so this is organized by some players there. But this is now the biggest Steam community in China. You could see a lot of players there. They discuss the new titles in Steam and exchange the feedbacks, exchange the experience on gamings. And so the second one is Modin.com. Modin is just like a local Kickstarter. You could find the group funding here. And you could find a lot of new titles like board games or consoles or PCs or anything. Another one is GameCore. So maybe some local people may know GameCore. So this is like a radio talking about all the very good game cultures. If anybody knows the radio, like a One Life Left from UK, so it's just like that. Another one like is the VG Times, focus on the console games and PC hardware games. They're talking about the game culture things. And then Indie it's more like an indie developers community. You can find a lot of developers there, and they also provide some like a free translation service to the Western developers. They already work with some Western developers already. And also you could see like Lud and Ray. They will cooperate with kind of events there. So last one is core level. It's kind of a quarrel, more like a quarrel community on gaming things. So if you're an experienced gamer, you could just answer some questions there. You could share your histories or experience to a game. So it's more core gaming things. And so C# and Temper expansion from the China market. I still list some data here from Steam Spy. So China market is unique, and the price of games is a little lower than the West country, and also the taste of there is different from the Western games. And it's grow fast, and you have to invest more times to talk with the local players or medias to consequently to have your brand and the games grow there. That's the way you want to enter there. And also another one is to promote your game with the right media, influencers. So at least some here. I will make a little explanation. So actually, the We Play CiGA Indie Plays our awards. So we have the annual Indie Game Awards in China. We attract like more than 200 games per year, covering PC, console, VR, mobile kind of fields. And also, like below, all these logos is from the local medias. I'm not sure if anyone know any of them, but it's just like the IGN or GameSpot, the media investing countries. So actually, this is only a few part. That's the main medias I'm working with because they are very good medias there. They have good user base and they have good contents. There are far more medias in China, but mostly maybe the content was not that good. Okay, and we're talking about the localization. I think yesterday I checked some games from here, so they already have a Chinese version. They made the localization with a Polish localization company. So I checked all the texts and also checked the towns. Unfortunately, I think there's a problem there. So if a Chinese player saw the text, they will think that, okay, it's not professional. There will be a lot of problems there. So it's better that you could find Asia, or it's better a Chinese localization company to do that because they know better about the right tone, manners, and the way people talking and how to express some like culture things in China to make your games better understanding to the players. And there's another important thing that when you enter China, besides the Steam platform, if you want to enter China legally, like to get license from the government, you will have to do some necessary localization, including like maybe you have to cut some contents maybe related to violence or sexy things. This is the local policy things, and also if you have a partner there to publish or to promote your game, you have to know that maybe they want adjust your game for a better experience according to the local players' the manners there. So you have to stay changed. But if you insist on something, I'm not sure if I could understand that a lot of players the developers want to insist on their very core things in the games. But I think you need to have to find a balance if you really want to enter the market. Okay, so this talking about the local partners here, we could see there are 4 parts here, like translations and localization. This is the base to express the games better. And also like for the publishers, first, if the publisher could help you to get the license from the local government and also connect or publish game to the different platforms in China. And also promotion like media, streamers, writers, and also you could find some maybe very good players or fans that they could help you with communication or promote your game there. And also there are another things, development. Maybe some publisher has the ability to post the games on all distributing platform and help you fix bugs and tech problem. Because in China the pace is very fast in China. So because the competition is also very big there, so you have to keep yourself very busy and positive to all the changes. If there are any problem, you have to fix it at the first time. So that's why that maybe it's better to find a partner that to help you with to fix some bugs or problems at the first time. And this is the general flows here. So we got first start with the kickoff, and then we come to the localization part, including like the textures, sound, graphics, and the GAPP is the license from the government. So this is part of localization. And then you need to do some marketing here, like in events, and connect to the medias, and find a journalist, and do streaming or pitching through some events or pitching through some internets. And then branding things is the community interviews. The players in China, they also very care about the communications. They want to talk to the gaming companies to get a better understanding of their further plans and why they produce the game and what key towns they want to talk to the players and what they could get. And sometimes they just want for more like funds from the games they want to talk to. And also, so this generally 3 steps is kickoff, localization, and marketing and cooperation things here. Okay, so actually this is the January period here you can see. Yeah, it takes some time. Okay, so I will talk a little more about ourselves, and because there's something special here. So in China, when we're talking about indie games, it's actually different from the Western countries. In China, for me, I could see a very big a content bubble in past from 2012 to 2015, especially on the mobile end. I think there were more than 20,000 content providers in China at the time, and almost everybody is copying each other, and also the contents went very bad. And so, in this way, the content provider and the distribution platforms will lose the trust from the players. So in 2015, so more developers began to come back to the content side to focus more on the gameplays and the game designs. They want to create more different or better contents. So during that period, the indie games plays a very important role because it stands for the trends and the spirit to create very good contents and also the innovation things. So not like the West countries, maybe it's more focused on the express themselves. So I think that this is very important in China because China has a big market and China has a lot of developers. From myself, I do wish to see that more developers could join this group to focus more on the content itself and have a better content from now on. Because the players is also changing. They want better games. So I think this is a very big signal that to see that maybe China market will go to better in the future. And also, I think that China market should attract more attention, not only from the consumer side, but from the content side. As I just mentioned, maybe you could also find a good partner there, not only on the publishing things, but maybe developer things or compose things, anything there. So last part is what we are doing. So actually, we do a lot of things. We do game jams. We do 2 game jams per year. Global game jam in January, and the next month we will do another game jam in China, covering 8 to 10 cities at the same time. So we do the workshops, meetups, and we do have our developer conference. We invite a lot of big names from globally. And also we have the Indie Arcade Showcase. We bring some companies from China to join the PAX East this year in March, and we're looking for more opportunities afterwards to other expos. And we have our own game expo. It's called We Play Game Expo. Like I just mentioned, it's more like a PAX in China. And this is the Indie Play China Indie Game Awards we do every year. So actually from our awards, I could see a lot games had been featured, but because they do the global publishing, I could see a lot of games had been featured by App Store or Google Play, and they got more awards globally, and also they got good performance on Steam. But I do wish that more games from China could do a better performance globally, not only in China. So. Okay, so now that's why I explained. So we are the partners to enter in China. So we focus not only on indie games, but focus on a better content trends. Okay, so something about We Play. Okay. We're going to do this end of October this year in Shanghai. Shanghai is a good city. Shanghai is more international, and more developers and international companies love that city. We're going to do 1 day developer conference and 2 days game expo, covering PC, console, arcade, board game, everything. And so actually there's no game expo like this before in China, even though I already spent 7 years in China Joy. The China Joy now is huge and big, but its focus lies on the gaming experience and the gameplay itself. And also, I think the China, we could see another one is the update of the gaming industry. Expenses there. I mean that's not only from the game product itself. You could do more cultural things like toys, like merchandise. It's worth trying there. That's also another way we're working with. And also, you could see a strong period from the industry experts because we have strong connection with all the medias and the streamers and everything. We could bring them there. So we just want to provide a better platform and the events to connect more good content from globally to the local media's players and the influencer things. Okay, so this in past 2 years, our partners, so we already have partners with Sony, Google, Microsoft, some big titles there, and also some local ones. Also like Repop, we also support their Comic-Cons in China. So we're quite open. So we are very open to talk any collaboration opportunities. Yes, the last one is my email address. So if any question or you want to learn more things, you just shoot me emails. That would be perfect. Yeah, I think got a little fast, so we still have 10 minutes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah, anybody have questions, you just let me know.
They are taking pictures, as I can see. Questions? Questions? Okay, so Simon, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.